welcome Lilian to the podcast, What It Takes. Today we're going to present to the community Lilian. So you work in online businesses. And we believe at What It Takes that behind each success, there is a story. And we are here to share it with the community and the online space. So to start, Lilian, I have a question for you straight. I wanted to know what's the most important thing that I need to know about you to understand the man who sits in front of me.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me in this podcast. I'm super excited to have all this talk with you about what it takes and everything. So thank you very much for that. Okay, that's quite a very strong question to begin with. Okay, interesting. What you need to know about me, right? That's kind of the question you're asking.
The most important point from your side that I need to know to really understand who is this guy in front of me.
I think people need to understand, if they need to know one thing about me, and that's it, is that I'm really super lazy. They have to know that. That's super important. I'm super lazy and I have I'm super defocused as well, I always have a lot of stuff going in my mind, and I always try to go doing new stuff, and maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, who knows. But yeah, I would begin to say one of my weaknesses, and because I think nobody are saying the weaknesses they can have. But yeah, I'm super lazy, a lot of defocused, and I guess I have also good stuff about me.
I hope, for you.
Yeah, I think I'm super curious. I love to, learn new things and to understand how stuff is happening and how the world is working, how the marketing is working. And yeah, I really like to understand how things are working, I think it helps me a lot in going very deep in a lot of subjects that then helps me to also be better, in everything in my life.
Okay, yeah, I see exactly, yeah. So when you say you can think and do a lot of things differently, or different projects or different ideas, do you think that it comes from a creative mind, or to what do you attach it to?
Yeah, there's a guy that I really like. He's American, I think, not sure. His name is Peter Kell. He's very well known in the marketing space. And he said something about a personality test one day. There is the MBTI, there is all that stuff, but his one was the whale's personality or something. I think the name was that, whale's personality. I'm not sure about that, but it's basically the idea that no one has the same way of creating wealth. Okay, like Warren Buffett, investors, he put money into the market, he gets more money into real estate, all that stuff. And Elon Musk, those people, they made billions in their life, right? But they are not the same type of entrepreneurs, they are not the same type of people. They don't create wealth the same way. And it was a huge discovery. It's kind of basic, I'd say, but it was a huge discovery for me, because then I was like, okay, what's my wealth personality? How do I create wealth? And then I could focus on my strengths and made processes to shut down my weaknesses if I knew how I was working, right? So I discovered that I was kind of the same type of Elon Musk. It's very ego stuff, they love to put, oh, you're like Elon Musk, blah, blah. But the whole idea is I'm a creative mind, for sure. So I have a lot of ideas in my mind, but I tend also to quickly stop thinking about them. So I will be very good to, have an incredible ideas. And maybe I will start working on it and I will put all my focus on that. But after 1 month, I'll be like, all right, next idea, and I stopped working on this. And why is Elon Musk is the same basically, because if you look at how we manage more than 9 companies that are like doing billions, each of them, he start with an idea and then he put a CEO in place. So he put someone who is very good at operational stuff, because he's not good to manage people, to manage projects, all that stuff. He's not good at that, but he knows it, because what he's good at is having the ideas, starting it, and going like 100% on it for like months, and then, okay, I put the CEO in place, And so I'm kind of the same as, okay, I have a lot of ideas. I know I need to start them, but then I need to put processes in place. So so it doesn't stop, because if it only work on myself, it will stop right away.
Yeah. So at a certain stage, you have to at least delegate some task of the project to people, so it still continues without you being involved day to day.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, that's super important, and that's probably why I went to being a freelancer and open an agency back in the day. Now I kind of stopped that, but it was very good for me as being the freelancer guy, because the processes were already there. And so I just had to come, do the ideas, work on the project for like 1 month. And when my wheel of working for this project was like going down, I could just stop and go on the next project. So that was very good for my mind and my brain, to being a freelancer and works on a lot of projects at the same time. I think that's why I choose to do that, actually. Yeah.
Okay. So you really value the fact to be able to change projects frequently?
I used to.
So something changed since?
I understand that I cannot rely on ego stuff like that. So it was a lot of ego from my side to just be like, oh, I'm just like this, so I cannot, work on a project for a long time. Yes, I can. Maybe it won't be easy for me. Maybe I will need to, work on my brain and be okay with the adversity and stuff. But I can do it. And yeah, so it changed because now I'm more focused on my own project. I'm launching an e-com brand very soon. I have funnels in the US that I'm working on and stuff. So I really want now to focus on my own project for a long time, But I had to work on myself and change my own beliefs, because I thought I couldn't do it. I thought I was the guy that just need to change project every month to still get these feelings, of wanting to work. But that's bullshit.
Yeah, see. Yeah, it's like, let's say you grow in your path of being an entrepreneur, and you see like what is working for you, and also what type of project you can build with certain type of behavior. So with the analysis that you have done, I think that you chose to act differently now.
Yeah.
But for the people who are listening to the podcast, I think they would like to know first, how did Lilian start in business? What was the first points in your life? Maybe at 5 years old or 10 years old?
Yeah.
Tell us.
So as far as I remember, I wasn't much of the entrepreneurial guy. I was not. Sometimes you heard stories of like, yeah, when I was 11 years old, I launched my own lemonade business and stuff. I wasn't like that at all. I think it's part of I lived most with my mom after like 10 years old because my parents divorced. And I think there is a part of living under my mom's house. She's very, she liked the rules. So it was not like super rigid, but yeah, there was, some kind of rules and stuff. And yeah, everything has to be done under the rules, under the laws and stuff. But the further I can remember is when I was probably like 13, 14, I had this book called Economics for the Bad. It's a French book, you know. I don't know really how to translate it.
Pour les nuls.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know how to translate it in English, but I had this book, which, to explain to the people, is basically a book that summarizes everything about one subject. And so there was like, it was about economics and finance and all that stuff. And I was very young to get this kind of book, but I really enjoyed it. I was like, damn, I love that. Like, you know, to understand how economics work, and there was all those different philosophy about economic and all that stuff. I loved it. But of course, when you talk about economy, you also talk about companies, because that's companies that create value in the economy, right? So then I went on YouTube and I started searching some videos on economy, and I guess, I don't remember at all, to be honest, but I guess the YouTube's algorithm put me some business video, right? And so I went deep into this hole as well. I started watching some videos on business of French YouTubers that were like talking about business. At that time, there was like a lot of real estate business, dropshipping. That was the start of dropshipping. It was around like 2016. Yeah, 16, 17, something like that, probably. So I went into this business hole and I was like, damn, I love that. Like, it was not much about the freedom and all that. It just, I knew I didn't really want, I didn't want it to do something, you know, in like just being a normal employee and stuff. I knew I didn't like that because I never liked school. I was feeling very bad in school. I never was a good student.
Why feeling bad? Because of the teachers, the students, the infrastructure?
No, I had good friends. It was not about the infrastructure. It was just the idea of forcing me to learn something I don't give a shit about. And yeah, I think I was lacking freedom, you know, at school. I was like, I wanted to do more stuff that I was interested in. And for example, I was doing, so in high school, I was in an economics, I don't know what to say.
Branch.
Yeah, economics branch, exactly, thank you. And so we had economics lessons, right? And during those lessons, because I was super interested in economy on the side, I was, I'd say, probably the most advanced person in the class on economic subject. I understood a lot of stuff, but they were almost too advanced for high school, you know? And funny enough, I was also the guy with the bad marks. So I was the worst student in economics in my class. And I was the best at the same one because I was the most advanced on a lot of subjects, you know? But I was super like, so that was the stuff, like I remember one of my professor, my teacher in economy, he hated me and he was telling me that I wouldn't like do anything with my life and stuff. And every time I was asking him question about economy, he was like, no, that's too advanced. You'll see that in, you know, in university and stuff. And I was like, okay, but like, I mean, I don't know, like just, you know, answer me, like what the fuck?
It's a question.
Yeah, and I felt that all my scholarity, that it was, you know, in box. Like if I was asking a question which is too advanced, I mean, why don't you answer? Like if you're a teacher, you love economy because you're teaching it, and there is one guy that seems to be super interested in the subject, even if it's too advanced, you answer, right? Yeah, you're like, oh bro, that's so good that you're interested in that. Let's have more talk about it. But no, it was like, no, that's not what we learn in high school. So you'll see that in university. By the way, I never saw the stuff I was asking in university as well. It's always the same, you know, they're pushing the stuff, but actually they're always pushing it. Like in university, I was asking the same question and the teacher, they were like, oh, you'll see that in second year. Oh, you see that next year as well. So bullshit, you know. Yeah.
So how do you do? Then you ended without like having any answers, or you have found answers on your own way?
Yeah, I mean, that's when I was searching on YouTube and books and stuff. I had a lot of economics books. I was just looking on my own, and actually, I think sometimes I was asking questions, like super advanced questions to my teacher from an ego place. I wanted to prove to my teacher that I knew stuff, I think. It's probably why he didn't like me. Because he probably thought I was super arrogant. But yeah.
And if you had this level that you say like advanced questions or advanced knowledge regarding where you were, why you didn't have also the grades that were good? Because you say that you had bad grades.
Because I wasn't, at school, the grades, the marks, they are not given because of what you're saying. They are given because of what they want, right? They have some kind of answer that they want you to tell, right? And as I said, I'm super creative and my mind is going everywhere. So whenever they ask question which needed, some kind of explanation and just not a yes, no question, right? Then I was going like all over the place, because I started writing and then I was like, oh, but there is this as well. Oh, but this as well. Oh, but this as well. Then I was going in a lot of places. And that wasn't what they expected from the answer, right? They had something from the lessons that we had in class, and they wanted this, it's like a Lego stuff, right? Like, we want this there.
Yeah, specific answer for one question.
But I was taking this from a YouTube video, and I was putting it there, and they were like, what the fuck? We don't want this. We want this, And since economy is very philosophical, there was a lot of time I was answering with a different, subject and philosophy from what they were expected. And always that, which also I think he didn't like me because, the baccalaureate, which is the exams at the end of the year in France, I had way better grades than what I had in
during the
year. Yeah. So, which could explain that he didn't like me and he was like destroying everything I was doing, because I never had more than 9 out of 20 in economy, and a lot of time I was like, that's so bullshit, like, yeah.
And did you discuss about it like with other students, where they were like more on your way of thinking, or they were more like just answer the way they want and that's all?
I discussed a bit, but not that much, because they didn't care as much as I was. Yeah, but at this time I remember I was already talking about business to my friend. I remember when we were lunching, I was like, guys, after like once I'm 18, I launched my dropshipping stores. Like, I'll do it. And I was 16 at this time, I was like, I'll do it, guys. Like, I know. And they were, I remember they were telling me, but how can this work? Like, you're selling bullshit product and blah, blah. I was like, no, but guys, like, it works. And I remember having this conversation with my friends. But they didn't really care, They're like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I was a bit alone in that, because I had not much people to talk about it that were like listening to me. And at the same time, I couldn't launch those products because I didn't have any credit card, to create like a Shopify store and all that. And since I was living under like the rules of my mom, I couldn't really, open the companies and stuff, because I would have to open it under my brother name at this time, since I wasn't like 18. And so that was super difficult, and my mom, she was like, oh, okay, you'll see when you're 18,
Yeah.
So I had to wait.
Until 18, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so it started like mostly with economics. So you wanted to learn more in general about economics and business.
Yeah.
And so you needed to wait until 18 to launch something for real. And so what happened after the baccalaureate, after high school?
So after high school, basically I went to university in finance studies. And the name of the studies were like international finance with English specialization. And yeah, I just went there. So I was still 17 because I'm from November. But once I turned 18, which was in 2019, so November 2019, I launched the business right away. So I started not with dropshipping as I thought I would be doing. I started with some like gray hat, black hat stuff. I don't know if you know what is black hat stuff.
And with SEO, you mean? Or?
No, but it's the idea of doing black hat shit, basically.
Ah.
So I was doing like, at this time, the botting was there a lot. So it was Spotify bot. So basically you would like create music on Spotify, and with bot, you would like ramp up your music with a lot of bots listening to your music all day. And then you would like being paid by Spotify because there was like a lot of listeners to your music, right? So I started doing that. So I had the bot and I had to go on like weird forums to buy some listeners Excel shit and like bulk of listeners and stuff. And then you had to plug the bulk of listeners into the bot and you had to create the music as well. So I was creating music. Back in the days, like in 2019, I was creating AI music. It was already there. And so I was using like website to create music and stuff. I still have my account now on Spotify with like some of my music.
You know, I was making like some research about you before the episode, and I saw you have like a Spotify account. So like, what is that? The man is in the music industry also.
Well, that's
now I understand.
Now you know, right? That's very funny. So yeah, I mean, I don't think the music are still on the account, but they're probably somewhere, I don't know, on the internet. So yeah, that's I don't know how to close that account though. So it's probably gonna be there for all my life. And some people will wonder like, what the fuck? So yeah, I started doing that. And that was very good because I started to understand the online business world, you know, and more importantly, you need to, whenever there is a problem, you need to overcome it, you know. And there was a lot of issues with the Spotify bot, for sure. Like sometimes you were buying listeners and they weren't like working. And I had to go on weird forums to buy listeners. So I had to buy Bitcoin in 2019. So it was already kind of big. I think the Bitcoin price was around like 2K, maybe 3K, something like that, or between like 2 and 5K. So it was still low. But I had to buy Bitcoin because on the forums, I had to pay people with Bitcoin. So I also put my nose on like cryptocurrency, and I was already very interested in cryptocurrency actually. With economics, of course, I've seen crypto at this time, and I was like, damn, blockchain is super interesting. Whatever. So, you know, I started working on a lot of stuff like this, like understanding, okay, I had to do this, I also have to do this, but if there is an issue there, I have to try this, and just finding the answer on your own, you know, and that's super important, especially on the online business world, right? You have to understand how to do a lot of stuff that maybe in a normal business you won't be able to, you know. There's a lot of people that don't know how to do website. I had to learn how to do website, right? A lot of that stuff. So that was very good. Then I continue in this path of black hat stuff, gray hat. I did a lot of, not a lot, one time actually, carding. So carding is when you use the money of someone else to buy something, basically, but that's not your money. I mean, I didn't want it to do it. I've been brained by someone that was saying, hey, you can have, I never told this publicly, basically, but I'll say it because now there is prescription anyway. But yeah, so basically someone on a weird forum, it was like, you can have free Easily accounts, like free Easily money. So I don't know if you know what is Easily. I'm going to explain for the English listeners. Basically, in the university in France, to buy lunch, you can have a card and the card is hosted by a company named Is Lilian. So basically, you just put money on your Is Lilian account, and with the card, you can pay everything at the university, like lunches, like coffee, all that stuff. And someone on a weird forum, he was like, "Hey guys, I can get you like free Is Lilian money." And so I was like, "Okay, let's try." So I tried, and I didn't understand, but actually, he was making me put like an IBAN account, like a bank account from someone who knows who the fuck is that. And then I put money on the Is Lilian account, and I was like, it works. And I was like, damn, I had my money now.
What was this feeling when you tried and you saw the money? Did you think that's amazing, let's do more? Or, oh, I didn't think it was working. Should I continue because it's not my money?
Exactly.
It will harm someone at the end.
Yeah. So when it happens, I was like, I freeze. And I was like, damn. Because I thought it was a bit of a scam. I was like, yeah. But then I was not dumb. I had written like some bank information that comes from what the fuck, right? And I was like, wait, it actually works. So that means like it's the money from somewhere. And I didn't wrote any names. So I thought it was like maybe like one of the accounts from one of the bank in France. Maybe they have like accounts at their name and we were just using the money from the bank, basically. But I didn't thought it was from someone. But I didn't do it more because I was like, okay, that's still weird. Maybe I don't want to do that. So I stopped. And a couple of days later, I received a call from the company and they were like, have you made this, is this like money that you just transfer on the Is Lilian account? Is that yours? And I remember I was sick as fuck. I was in my bed dying. And I was like, yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. I did like every time and stuff. I was so fucking worried because then I started to look on internet. I was like, okay, like what the fuck can I have? And I was like, yeah, I can go like for 5 years in prison and stuff, in jail. Like, no, fuck, bro. So they freeze my account. And I never received the money nothing happened. I think they returned the money to the bank account and nothing happened to me, but just my account was freeze, so I couldn't pay anything in the university anymore. But it's very funny. Actually, I could use, because not for the lunch, but for, the box with like a lot of like coffee.
Distributor.
Distributor. Yeah. I could use that with the account. And so for the 3 years in university, I used it like a lot of time. And there was a bug in the system because I was using the card and they were like scanning how much money is there on the card. But since my account was froze, they were like looking, oh, there is like 60 euro on the card. So it can buy, but then they were giving me the stuff, but then they couldn't like get money out of the card. But they didn't, like the distributor didn't know. And so for years, I just pay with the card and I had like unlimited money glitch. So it kind of worked in a sense, so I was paying coffee to everyone and stuff. So actually I was a bit happy about that because I paid so much TikTok, Kit Kat and coffee with my glitch card. But that was the first time I really did some entrepreneur stuff, and then I started e-com.
Okay, dropshipping. Yeah. So right after Spotify, you started e-commerce with the dropshipping business model.
So in beginning of 2020.
Okay. And how did it go with you? Like, did you join a community or you just learned on YouTube on your own? Did you launch it with a friend or?
So I was on Twitter a lot, and there was like a big e-com community on Twitter. So basically I was following those guys on Twitter, and I started like that. And at first I studied alone. It wasn't working at all. So I joined a community. It was called the Crew Academy. And I joined this, and very good, like people helped me there. And I started to understand more how it works, and to understand that, especially in dropshipping, like one of the first issue back in the days, maybe it's different now, but back in the days, the first issue was that the beginners, they were too much, they loved too much their first product, you know? So they were like, I don't know, for like months, like 1 month, maybe they were like creating the website for the product, like super beautiful pictures and stuff. Then they launched the testing and it flopped and they lose 1 month. And so I went through that. And I remember my first sale ever, it was a Switzerland girl. I was, and my first product, that was the defrosted plate. So basically it was a plate that you put like steak on it to defrost the steak.
Yeah,
you know,
I know.
So that was my first product.
Okay.
And I had one sales from Switzerland, and I remember, like, you know, my first sales. I was like, I woke up and I saw the Shopify notification. I was like, oh my god, because she paid like 46 euro, which is a lot, you know, and that was a lot for me at the day. I was like, damn, that's crazy, like, oh my god. But then the shop flopped. But I understand, and I knew I could make money with that, so I continue. And I went to my first meetup with the guy from this group, and we just all went for 1 week in a villa. And during 1 week, we just all did e-com. We were like 20 person, all doing e-com at this time, and people like doing a lot of money. And so that was crazy for me, because I was a beginner. When I wasn't making any money, I was like, damn, I was seeing all those person doing money and with different products and different strategies and stuff. And bro, it motivates me so much. When I come back home, I like 2 weeks later, I had my first winner. So basically the story of my first winner is I was always launching products on the French market. But then I was like, okay, it doesn't work. I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but it doesn't work. So let's change, you know, how I'm doing stuff. And so I've seen this product. It was, you know, the hand stuff.
Yeah.
You know, very like normal product. A lot of people launch it. But I was like, okay, I don't want to launch it like everyone who is doing like musculation, like muscle your wrist or whatever. So I was like, okay, what the fuck do I do in my life? And at this time I was playing baseball. So it's not super popular in France, but I was still playing and I loved it. And I was like, okay, I can launch this product for the baseball player, right? Because I could even, I was seeing myself using it. You know, I was like, yeah, I mean, I can, like, in baseball, you need a good forearm, you need good grip and stuff. And I could use that.
Okay, so you wanted like to change the marketing angle.
Exactly.
To target a different type of profile.
Exactly. Because at this time I was already like looking at some copywriting stuff. There was this guy that is probably the first guy I've seen on YouTube, which was Stan Leloup. And he was talking a lot about copywriting at this time. Then I watched Mad Men, which is my favorite shows ever. I don't know if you know about it.
The name, but I didn't watch it now.
It's like a guy from an ad agency in Manhattan, New York, and there is basically copywriters there. And it's probably the guy that making me want to become a copywriter after. But maybe we'll get into that. And so I was like, okay, I can change the market angle and stuff. And I understood, you know, all that concept. And so I changed it. I was like, okay, but I can launch that in France maybe. But then like the people in France, there is like 20,000 people that are like playing baseball. It's a good market. I mean, if you sell like 20,000 stuff to all of the markets, you're doing good money, right? But it's impossible to sell to everyone. So I was like, why don't I launch in the US? Like there is 80 million people interested in baseball, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I made all the website in 30 minutes on a Monday morning. I remember Monday morning, I do all the website, 30 minutes. I launch it for the Tuesday, because like Monday afternoon, I do the first creative for Facebook. I put them in the BA, the ad account, launch the campaign, and yeah, they start launching for like Tuesday, you know. And Tuesday, I woke up and I made the first sale.
Straight away?
Straight away. And I was like, damn, okay. And I made like more sales. more sales. And then this first day, I received a text on the Facebook page, on the Messenger. And it's a guy with like a baseball profile. So the guy is like this of the baseball profile. I'm like, okay, that's a good targeting, And he's asking me, he's telling me basically that he has a baseball facilities in the US. So, he's training people and stuff. And he would be interested to buy my products in bulk. And he's like, do you do that? Bro, at this time I wasn't super good at English. And so I didn't even know what was bulk, because he was asking me, do you do wholesale sales? And I was like, what the fuck does this mean? I have no idea what the fuck it means, So I was on internet and I was like, what wholesale means? and then I was like, okay, I think you want to buy a lot of them. And I was like, that's crazy. So I was like, yeah, of course we're doing wholesale for sure. And we also have like a program for the companies, like, of course we're doing that, blah, blah. And I give him like some prices. I still have the text, I could show you after. I give him prices, with like discounts if he buy more. And I think, I don't remember exactly, but I think he buy like 20 or 25 of the product.
Ah, so he did it for real afterwards.
So he did it.
Okay.
So he did it. So in the first day.
Wow.
And so we went, I put like probably 30 or 40 or 50, I don't remember exactly, in testing on Facebook ads. And though the first day I've made I think $350.
Okay, so that's a good return.
Yeah, and that was the first time I've made that much money on the testing,
Yeah.
And I was like, wait, I think there is something, And so the next day, same, I think I made like a good return, like maybe 150 for like 15 in ads, So it was working fucking well. And I was like, damn, there is something good to do, And so, yeah, for 1 month and a half, I work on this shop. I've changed everything. I've put like emails in place. I've created bundle to get a better AOV, I mean, I did all the good things, and it was one of the most best experience, I would say, in a sense to like make me learn a lot of stuff in a very short period of time. Because I learned a lot, like how to create emails, how to create the abandoned cards, flows, how to create like how to get a better AOV, how to create a lot of creative, how to manage people, how to manage logistics, all that stuff, and I had to learn them by doing so, and that's why to me e-com is the best way to start the online business for sure, because you're launching your own ads if you're doing like ads, of course. So you're launching your own ads, so that's your own money that you're investing in. So you have to make it work from day one, right? You have logistics to learn. You have to understand how it works to make people happy. You have to understand ads, marketing, but also like conversion rate on your website. So how to make people buy your stuff, angles. Like you have to learn so much stuff. And for your mind is like one of the best stuff for sure. I don't think like there is any online business that comes super close to e-com and how it makes you understand the game super fast.
Yeah.
Comparing to like freelancing or all that stuff, Yeah, like playing with your own money change everything.
Yeah, it forces you to learn like different aspects of the business here, e-commerce. But I was thinking like what changed between when you started dropshipping and then you've been to this mentor group for a week in the villa, and then you came back and you started to make more money. What happened in this week?
Yeah, because there is a direct correlation between this week and the money I was making after. Because for real, I went to this group for a week in this villa, and I think I had made like maybe 500 online, and I was not profitable.
Yeah, like 500 revenue.
Yeah. And I was not profitable at all. I lose money.
Okay.
Between like the Spotify bot, the Spotify bot, the first like shop that I tried and stuff, I lost money. And yeah, I mean, it was the energy and the information. So I got information that I couldn't get alone, you know, and I understand how to actually make money. And the stuff was to test at this time. Maybe it's the same now. I'm not doing dropshipping, so I don't know. But at this time, the money making was in testing a lot of product, you know, so like just testing until you find one and you scale it. That was the game, you know. And
when you say a lot of products, is it like what, 1 per day, 5 per day?
As much as you could do. Basically like 1, 2, 3 per day, as much as you could do. I was not testing that much because it was requiring. You need, basically. You need a lot of processes in place and even money to pay like people to do a lot of stuff. But I was testing like I started like testing 4 products per week, and I think I tested like 10 to 15 products before finding the one in the US. Yeah, and it only works because I actually, and it's a bit weird, but it works when I stop testing in mass and I was like thinking about the angles of the product, you know. So I also understand that you don't need necessarily to test in mass. You need to understand the angle of what you're selling, right?
Yeah, and the marketing angle.
Yeah, and I found it like it was people in baseball, they wanted to throw faster. And so I found a problem and I gave them the solution, you know. And so, my marketing changed because I was focusing on the problem of the person and not just, hey, buy my products, you can do this. No, like you have this fucking issue, which is making me feel so bad, like you cannot throw hard enough. And you want to be a good baseball player. So you have to learn, you know, how to throw faster.
Yeah.
And I said that. I said like...
So you highlight the pain or the issue and then you have the solution.
Exactly.
Okay, so you received this bulk order. So the guy bought like 30 units, you said.
Yeah.
So how was the shipping? Did you manage? Because it was the first time that you had like a bulk order, right?
Horrible. So, you know, at this time, the testing, they were like this. You use Deezers. I don't know if you know the app.
Yeah, the app, yeah.
Yeah, so it's an app to manage like the shipping through AliExpress, basically. And to like connect it to your Shopify account and stuff. And so I was using that for all my testing, but then I was like, I cannot buy like 25 through AliExpress and make sure they arrived, right? So I went to the group of people and I was like, guys, do you have agents? I need a Chinese agent now because I have bulk order and I think I might scale this offer, you know. And so I get an agent and I started talking very fast with him and I was like, hey, I have this bulk order to do. How the fuck do we do, right? I need like to ship like 25. And so I started to understand because they sent me like products, price, and I was like, and I saw like there was significantly lower price than what I was buying on AliExpress. And I was like, damn, you can also make profit by just lowering your cost. That's crazy, but you need the right people to do it. And so I also, you know, started to understand all of that, and which is super powerful when you understand this. And so, yeah, we managed to like ship the stuff, but at this time, like the Chinese USA connection was really bad. So it would make like 2, 3, 1 month to arrive. It was super bad, super bad. So I got a lot of complaints with the product because, yeah, they were like making 2 weeks, 3 weeks to arrive. You know, it's not good. Like people, they want fast shipping. Yeah,
especially in the US, they are used to it. But
yeah,
if we look at your product, you might be able to find it directly in the US, like find a supplier in the US that has it. I didn't think about this.
I found, I mean, I tried to find. I tried to look. I didn't really find it. Was it me? Was it because in 2020 there was not that much people doing like logistic. So I look into all of that. I look into 3PL. I look into all of those solutions. I didn't find what I wanted. And then I stopped the shop for a specific reason that I'm going to tell you. So yeah, I didn't find it. Unfortunately, that would have been perfect for sure. Now, like in 2024, 2025, the shipping between like the China and USA are much more faster. So it will be even easier now to sell it. It's a good product, guys. If you see that, just launch it, try it. You'll make money for sure. It's a good product, hard one because you cannot sell it high. I was selling it for $19 and I was buying it for $7. So the margin are very low. And I was making money because I had a good AOV, because I was selling like multiple products. I was selling like this one, then I said the one that you put there and to do like this. So I was selling package, bundle, and my AOV went from 30, something like that, 27 to 35, and then at the end it was 41. So I managed to get a good AOV, and then I was like buying maybe 20 of product and making like 40 in average. So that was a good return, making maybe doing like $10 of profit from each order, something like that in average. So I mean, you can scale with it, right? But yeah, that was fun. I tried a lot of stuff. I tried influencer marketing. I tried a lot of stuff with that.
How did end dropshipping after this bulk order? And
so basically, like it ran for 1 month and a half, something like that, until December. So I launched it like end of November, 2020, and it ran until like beginning of January, and then I stopped it. Basically, why? Because I received a call, like an email from a lawyer company. So one day I woke up and I look at my emails like every day, and I see like this weird email from a lawyer company, and they're like, "Hey, we are seeing that we're the lawyer of this player, this player, this player, this player, this player," that I won't name, but they were like star of baseball. Like imagine we're talking about like Ronaldo, Mbappe, if we were talking about football.
Really? Okay.
Like Tom Brady, like for the American football, this kind of guy for the baseball. They're like, we're like those lawyers for those players. And I'm like, all right. And they're like, you're using their images in your marketing, which I was. So in my ads, I was using their image, and on my product page, I was using their image. And they were like, okay, so now you have to shut down everything you're doing, and you have to send your contability and accounting. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to like give them my accounting and stuff. So I stopped all the ads. I stopped like the images of using stars and stuff. But then when I launched it again with like new ads, because my winner ads, so for the people who knows baseball, I was basically, do you want to throw like Arenado? And Arenado is like one of the very, very good player in baseball. And so the hook was very good, because I was using like name of the product of the players very good. Every baseball player knows him. I was using his image of one of the super good throw he was doing from the third base to the first base. And so you're like, from the knee, he's throwing from the knee, from the third to the first, like incredible throw. And all of that was making the ads very good. But then when I launched the ad again, because of this lawyer stuff, and I didn't want to get any trouble from that, the ad, they didn't work as much, because I was like saying, hey, do you want to throw like an MLB player? And then the image were like Shutterstock baseball player and stuff. And so it didn't work as much. Like the result, they drastically dropped. And I was like, shit, how do I make it work now? So I tried stuff for like 2 weeks, but I couldn't do anything. I think I just didn't have the knowledge of making it happen. I could have, but I understand that, okay, using stars, it works like fire. So I stopped, and then I was a bit lost. I didn't know if I wanted to go in dropshipping again and stuff. And that's when I started to do some work as a freelancer with the email marketing of e-commerce. So that's when I switched to dropshipping to freelance. Basically.
Okay. And why did you choose to offer your service as a freelancer in the email marketing side? Because as you said, you have learned different skills through e-commerce. Why did you pick email marketing?
There was a gap in the market at this time. Nobody in France was using email the right way. Nobody. And there was already like Facebook agencies, Google agencies. I was not super good at Google. I could do like Facebook, but I was not a big fan of doing Facebook. So yeah, there was a gap on the market. Nobody was doing emails. I'm not saying I'm the first on the market at this time. In 2021, I launched my agency. And to be honest, I was probably one of the first on this market, of having like an email agency. I was not the first. There were already like email marketing agencies, but from there, like since then, a lot opens. So I was one of the first to actually talk about it on Twitter, this kind of stuff, in France. And there were just a gap in the market about email marketing for e-commerce. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what was your strategy when you started as a freelancer to get clients?
So it was more referral. I already had the network, because I was in those e-commerce group as a dropshipping guy. So then I started just reaching out to people and be like, hey, I can help you with your emails if you want to. Like, I'm just doing it for some people, blah, blah. But I did that, and I just also put myself on some freelance website. Like you just, you put your card, and like you receive people that want to work for you. And I think my first client, or second, I don't remember exactly. No, I think that was my first. I received it from this freelance website. So basically she came to me and she was like, yeah, I don't know, I don't have good results on Facebook. And I was like, okay, but I'm not talking about Facebook, I'm doing email. So then I'm like, okay, maybe your issue is not Facebook. Maybe your issue is in the emails, because you're getting a lead, but you're not converting them, afterwards. And so I was like, oh, okay, you're right as well, blah, blah. And then I started manage her email marketing stuff. And that went pretty well, because I was getting a revenue fee of each sales I was making. So a rev share deal, basically. And after 3 months working with her, I made 10K from her, in only 3 months, because we did well. I made her the biggest launch she's ever done from emails and stuff. So I made my work for her like that. I started to work on my copywriting skills and my email skills. And I've done a lot of research from the American side, because they were in advance and all of that. And it was good. And then I started to have more and more clients. So referral deal, people just through Twitter, because I started to make content about email marketing on Twitter. And I kind of became the guy from Twitter at this time as well. One of the first ones to talk about email marketing for e-commerce, So a lot of people came from Twitter as well. And I've made good network. Yeah, a lot of opportunities for that. And after with time, I got better. I opened a new service as well. I stopped only doing email marketing. We also made landing pages, consulting for the whole e-com brand and stuff, because I understand that, okay, if you want to actually get result to your clients, you have to move the needle more, and only doing the email marketing, then they take care of the acquisition. Okay, and the conversion rate. Okay, but maybe they can improve there as well, and I can help them.
Yeah.
So,
But there are two different schools regarding this. There are people who say just focus on one thing, one service, one vertical, and just be the best at it and don't get distracted by other things. And other that say, wider you offer so you can bring more to your client. So what do you think of that now?
I think you want to offer your clients result, and so you need to do what's needed. So from the email side, the issue is I was getting leads on the email list, but I had no control on the quality of the lead, right? So what if I can improve the quality of the lead? Then I will make even more money from the email. So I was like, okay, let me do the landing page, because it's gonna improve the quality of the lead, and let me help you on the angle of your e-commerce, because maybe you're not targeting the right people, But at the end of the day, it was kind of to me making more money, because then if all the top of the funnel is better, I'm gonna make more money with the email as well, and so it was just better for me.
Yeah, and for them too, because if you make money,
at the end of the day,
it
for
means
them
they
too.
make money too.
Yeah, but it's not that I didn't care about them, but it was just a win-win situation, So yeah, maybe you can just be the best at one thing, but if you really want to be good for your clients, you need to don't lie to them. And I see that a lot in the agency space. That's why I'm not a big fan of that. They all lie to the clients because at the end of the day, they want the best result as well for them, because they want more clients as an agency. But it doesn't mean getting the best result as an agency is equal to the best result for the e-commerce brand. It's not necessarily. It can be very bad. I don't know, let's say your Facebook ads agency, you can scale super high, but maybe the margin are super bad. So maybe you can say, hey, we started working with this client, they were doing 15K per month. Now they're doing 200K per month. But maybe the margin are super low. Maybe they're losing money. Maybe they're literally investing 200K to make 200K. I mean, you don't know, right? So yeah. I think a lot of agencies are focusing on the wrong stuff, and for example, agencies that are getting money, Facebook agencies that are getting money, getting paid on the ad spend. The incentive is to spend more for them, not to make you profitable. It's a lot of stuff like that, and I also understand as an agency and working with a lot of clients that. Yeah, all those agencies, they are working against each other. As an email guy, I'm not working with the guy that is doing the Facebook ad. We're not working together, So of course there's gonna be issue. And maybe the Facebook agency, they are getting paid with the spend or the returns. But let's say I want to create campaign on Facebook ads just to get leads. So it's not gonna have any return, because it's just to get leads. So the return are gonna be in the email list. But the agency, they're gonna be no, because we're getting paid on how much money we bring. So it creates conflict, and that's why I slowly stopped being a freelancer and agency. So we're going 3 years after all of that, because it's a 3-year period until 8 months from today.
Okay, I just have one last question in this time range. Is when you switched from being a freelancer in email marketing to propose a wider service on not only email marketing but landing page and conversion rate and everything, how did your pitch changed when you were having potential client or client?
So two things. First of all is clients that I already was working with, and new clients. So the clients I was already working with, you just upsell them. You get on a call or you send an email and you're like, hey, we're now offering this new offer. It's good for you because of that. Are you open to like try it? And since you're already a client, we can get you a discount, blah, blah. So very easy. And most of the clients, they're going to say yes, because if you're doing good stuff for like the email, they're going to say yes for the landing page. If you explain it like it's going to help also the emails, blah, blah. But the new clients, I found them through referrals as well. Most of everything I'm doing is network. I'm super bad with prospection, like cold emailing, cold calling. I'm so bad at that. I'm very, very bad. And I hate that. So everything I'm doing is through referral and networking. Because thanks God, I think I'm doing a good job for my clients. So most of them are super happy and they say good thing about me. So I never had any much issue to find new people to work with, you know. So yeah, that was referral. Like I was talking to a new person and I had the skill. I was like, just like sending whatever I was sending, you know.
Yeah. So they knew like what you did a bit because they were like a referral from someone else. So they knew your service and.
Exactly. I mean, the stuff is in France, I'm a bit of not an ovni, but my marketing approach is very different from all of the other guys from the agency space. I'm super focused on direct response marketing, okay? And most of them, they are super focused on branding, like having a good brand. I don't care about branding.
What is direct response marketing?
So direct response marketing is basically the idea of creating marketing that appeal a direct response from the customer. So most of the time it's gonna be like the response of money. So like they're gonna buy, but it can be like a response of giving you the email. That's a response as well. A response of doing whatever you want them to respond to. Okay, so if you want them like to buy, you're telling them something, buy, and they're gonna respond by buying. That's the direct response. And so it's all the idea of making profit from day one and making a lot of money. Everyone that is bootstrapping companies, they do direct response marketing, and it's a very wide stuff. But basically it's the idea of just making tons of money very fast. And like non-direct response marketing are gonna be like Coca-Cola, for example. You know, they can not be profitable for 3 years. They don't care. So they don't need a direct response. They just need to be in your mind and to just be like, hey, whenever you want a sweet drink, you just buy Coca-Cola. And that's it, right?
So it's like awareness, marketing awareness campaigns.
Exactly. It's non-direct response marketing, it's indirect response. Basically.
Okay. So you moved from email marketing freelancer to having a wider service. Mm-hmm. And what do you do now then?
So basically, then I slowly stopped doing the agency stuff because my approach of direct marketing was not super like aligned with the market of e-commerce in France, because most of the e-commerce they are super afraid to sell. They're afraid to sell. They want like to keep a good branding and stuff, and they have a lot of ego. Because a lot of the e-commerce brands are launched in France, it's. I don't want to like shit on any person, but you know, it's maybe sometimes not their money. They get the money from the BPI. They're just not fun to work with. So I just stopped that, and I found people to work with that were open to direct response marketing strategy, which was the main stuff I was doing. And so I slowly stopped that, and I started working very closely to fewer person and fewer brands to implement direct response marketing strategies. So it was not necessarily only e-commerce. For like the last year of the agency, we also started working with infoproduct, with coaches, with consulting, you know, that type of stuff. And so Yeah, like it's a lot of very long form sales page, VSLs, so video sales letter, a lot of, stuff like that, basically, like big funnels and stuff. And I just basically started doing that. And now I stop all the freelance work. I mean, I'm only working with one done for you clients at a time. That's it. And all of my focus is on my own product. So I have a newsletter in business in French, which I use like YouTube and Twitter and very next ads to fill it. I have a dating offer in the US, and I'm gonna very soon launch my supplement brand with a partner. So we're still in the process of discussing all of that, but very soon I will launch this supplement brand. And so I'm working on all of that, which takes a lot of time.
I'm sure, yeah. Well, what is, for example, the newsletter about, and when did you start it?
So the newsletter is very fun. Since I stopped the freelance work and the agency work like a year ago, like in around August, of 2023, like around this time, like summer, then I was like, okay, I want to launch a newsletter, because that's email. That's the stuff I've been doing for years now. That's the stuff I'm good at. And I was a bit, I wanted to make direct response marketing more known in France, because a lot of people didn't know about that. And so I really wanted to make them know that, hey guys, there is this stuff called marketing direct in French, or direct response marketing. And you have to know about that, because it's going to change your life, and it's going to change your market and the way you market stuff. And I've been doing that for years. We've generated more than 4 million for my clients using direct response marketing. So you got to learn it, And so I launched that as a paid newsletter at first. So people had to pay to receive my emails. So I did that.
Like a one-time fee, or every month?
Yeah. One-time fee.
How much was it at the time?
So there was different pricing, because I launched it for the people already on my free newsletter that I already had, but I was not emailing that much. It was €9, and then the normal launch was €19, and then it went to €50, the entry fee. I should have made it a subscription, to be honest, but I was a bit afraid, I think, of maybe do I have a lot of value to bring them so they will pay me again, all that stuff, If I do it again, if I redo it, it's gonna be like a monthly subscription for sure. So I launched it around like 50% paid. So it was a good stuff, I don't have a big Twitter account. So I'm like 2,500, yeah, something like that, 2,500 followers. So it's not much, right, at this time. And 50% joined, and so for 6 months, I emailed them every day. And the people, they were like so freaking happy about that. I have dozens of testimonials telling me that I was the only newsletter they were reading, that they were super happy with everything I was doing. Like everything is there. I have all the testimonials. Okay. They are in a lot of places on my marketing now.
So good feedback.
But very, very good feedback, and I was super happy about it.
I have two questions regarding this. Is how did you do to write an email every day? Like what type of content can you propose every day that is not bothering people through the time?
Yeah. So that's the stuff. That's direct response marketing. So we are not charity. I'm a business. So I want to make money. But to make money, you also need people to trust you. And the best marketing is to have people buy again and again and again from you, right? So if you want to do that, you need to have a good relationship with the readers, right? And also, you want a direct response from the people, but maybe the direct response is gonna get there in 1 year. Maybe not today. Maybe they don't want to buy today from you. So what do? You stop messaging them? No. So I send an email every day. Sometimes more, sometimes 2 per day, 3 per day, okay? And every time I tell that, people are like, oh, but are you harassing them? I mean, ask them. The testimonial are saying that I'm the only newsletter they're reading, you know? So maybe there is something about that. The issue is people, they don't understand how powerful email is. It's basically one of the only way to have a one-to-one conversation with someone. Nowadays, everyone is talking with, you know, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all that. But that's, first there is the algorithm, so you can get banned. And we know people, Raphael, for example, he got banned on LinkedIn, and I have another friend who got banned on LinkedIn as well. And you can get banned from Instagram, like another guy, Nick Cosmin, got banned on Instagram. So you can get banned from all those platforms.
Yeah.
And it's not a one-to-one conversation, right?
Yeah, so you don't own the audience.
You don't own the audience, first of all. You don't own it. You can get banned. But, and the feeling is not the same. Like, you know, when you put a tweet out there on a story, the algorithm is choosing to show the story to the people. When you send an email, it's gonna get to the email inbox, right? That's it. Dot, period. Right? I mean, if you're doing stuff right with the deliverability issues and stuff, but so there is this personal effect, you know, to the email. If you're doing it right, most of the issue, especially in e-com, they're doing with like a lot of images, and they're only like sending promotion, like, hey, like if you buy today, 20% off. It doesn't create any relationship with someone, right? But imagine I just send you a letter every day with like something that interests you, something of value, something that entertains you, makes you, you know, want to read the email of tomorrow, and the email of tomorrow, and the email of tomorrow. And that for 6 months. And at the end, you just know me so well. And of course you're gonna buy because you trust me like a friend. And you trust that what I'm saying and selling is good, right? Because you just know me for 6 months, because we've been talking every day. I'm top of the mind of the people.
Yeah. Or what do you write in the mail?
And that's the stuff. Okay, Lilian, I get it. I need to send an email every day. The audience gonna love it. But what do I write? There's a lot of stuff you can write, actually. You can talk about everything, but first you need to understand who you're talking to, okay? Because, again, that's a business. So you don't want to just talk about random stuff. You need to make people understand that you're someone that they can trust, and you're someone that they can trust for solving their issues. And then you're someone that they can trust. That's it. And so you can talk about everything. For example, yesterday, the email I sent to my list was about just the email that I sent 2 days ago. So what is the email I sent 2 days ago? I just tell them, hey, I want to be sure what I'm saying is good for you. Answer this email and tell me what you're working on. And if you do, I will send you a video on offers, like how to create good offers and stuff. And so a lot of people answer my email and they're like, hey, yeah, I'm working on that. I would really want to know more about this subject, you know? And then yesterday I sent them an email and tell them, hey, like, thank you for answering me, blah, blah. So we talk about this, we're going to talk about that, blah, 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 blah. But sometimes I just say the story. For example, maybe I haven't wrote the email today. Maybe I'm going to talk about that.
The podcast,
Yeah, because some stuff are happening every day to my life. So let's just talk about it, you know? And what I want is I want to become a moment in the life of the people that are reading me, you know? It's like a Netflix show. Every day, they're going to receive my email and they're going to be like, okay, what the fuck is he going to talk about today? Right? Oh, and then they start reading. And the way I write is super entertaining, you know? Like I talk about my life, I make stuff look better. Of course, like the stories I'm saying, I'm telling to people, they are not exactly how it happens. There is a bit of fiction in it, but just to make stuff interesting. I'm not lying at all. I'm just making stuff interesting, making stuff more fun, you know, more funny. I like to say that I'm writing like an anime. I don't know if you watch anime, but in anime, they make every expression 10 times harder, right? Like when they're surprised, their eyes, they go out of the stuff and everything, you know? And that's exactly how I write the stories in my emails. So I use what one of the guy I love in email marketing, his name is Ben Setter. And Ben, which he took from his mentor, Matt Fury. But they're talking about infotainment. So that's the idea of having information and entertainment at the same time. So you're mixing them both, and then you get emails that just make people want to read them every day. It's not like magic, you know. It's just you understand what people want, and they want to be entertained, and they also want to get information. But the issue is that most people, they think that being a teacher is good. So they always want to, you know, teach people. Nobody cares. Like, I mean, you would know it if the teacher were the most paid people in the world, but it's not. The most paid people in the world are Kim Kardashian, you know.
Yeah,
and
she's not for a reason.
She's not teaching everything.
Yeah.
And Cristiano Ronaldo is not teaching everything. He's entertaining people. So there is a reason why one of the most powerful people in the world are entertainers.
True, yeah, it's getting attention to, build something around you, like an aura, like a certain type of frequency, and then just continue. But regarding your process, like if you write every day, do you really write one mail per day, or you write maybe 5 before and then you structure? And how does it get out of your mind?
Yeah. So it depends. When I was still writing for clients emails, I was usually having like a couple of days in advance because, you know, sometimes stuff happens and I didn't really want to miss a day for my clients. Personally, I don't care. That's my newsletter. I tell people like, hey, I'm going to email you every day, but sometimes not. If I was like, doing something else, sometimes I miss a day. It's fine. Like, you don't need to email every day. You need to email as much as you have something interesting to say. Okay. So personally, I write email every day. Like the email of today, I'm going to write it like probably like this evening, you know. Sometimes when I do a lunch, like a sales, and usually I send more emails. So like 2, 3 per day, maybe 4 sometimes at the end of the sales. I can like set them up because it's a lot of emails. If I need to like write 4 or 3 the same day, it's gonna be, you know, a bit hard. So I set them up before, and then I'm free for like a couple of 2 or 3 days. But I always like to have fast emails. So from what is happening in the world. So like if someone is answering one of my emails, I can make an email and answer them. You know, I'm gonna give you an example. One day I launched an email and I was explaining that I'm moving out from my apartment and stuff, and that I was a bit sad. And there were literally no value in this email. I mean, except that just knowing more about me.
Yeah, it's like life update.
Yeah, life update. And one of the guy answered me, and he was one of the guys that paid my newsletter back in the day, because I didn't say, but now my newsletter is free, and you can join it, whatever. It's in French if you want to join it, but yeah, it's free. And one of the guys that he paid me, you know, when my newsletter was still paid, and he answered this email, and he's like, yeah, I mean, it's very bad because now, like, I feel there is no value in your email anymore. I paid for it, blah, blah, blah. And so whenever you get someone like who is like a haters or whatever, you never answer privately. Because, you know, a lot of people that get attention from other people, like me, I get attention from my emails, right? You get haters. You get people to say stuff about you, right? And a lot of people, they get, you know, angry about that, or they try to defend themselves or justify themselves. You don't do that. You use what they're doing and you answer publicly. Because if you use them, if you answer them, at least answer publicly and make money out of them, right?
Yeah, money or content, yeah.
That's exactly what I did. So the guy was like, yeah, there is no value in your emails. That's bad, blah, blah, blah. I pay for it. So I took his answer and I put it in an email. And I was like, hey, look at this guy. He's saying there is no value to my email. Who the fuck he is to saying that he can get value for free? No, value is paid. You need to pay to get value. And then I said, so if you want value, get my product. And for 3 days straight, I sell one product each day, saying them like, hey, get my product. Like, if you want value, as there is not going to be any value in my emails, get my product. So,
like no value at all in your emails? Or
no value. I mean, there is value.
So if there is no value, why people still read it?
No.
It's just entertaining?
But that's the thing. Like, there is value, of course. But the guy was like, I want more value. I was like, bro, if you really want value, I have paid product where I don't entertain you. I give you exactly what you need. But it was more like a philosophical entertaining sales, you know, like, hey, my philosophy is that I'm not a charity. So if you really want value, you can pay me and then you'll get it because that's a transaction. You know, I'm not gonna value for free, giving you value for free. And so I entertain people, plus I give them information, of course, sometimes, but that's when I want, you know, and if you really want value, you can pay me, you know. And that's very good because I got this hater, kinda, and I just turned it into money, you know. And it's a lot of stuff like that. Is you can just talk about whatever is happening in your life through your emails, the answer you get, the stuff you read. If you really start to think about it, you have so much content to say in emails. Like really, like you have 24 hours in each day. So you're gonna tell me like each day, for 24 hours, there is not one stuff that happens that you can't use in an email. No, impossible. Even if you stay home all day, even if you stare at your wall, the 24 hours, you can still talk about that in your email. What did I learn from staring at my walls for 24 hours? You know? So there is always content. Always. There is. You just need to think about them. Like sometimes I don't know, let's say for example, I go out and I don't know, like sometimes, you know, something happens is like you walk and someone, they bump into you. If they bump into me, oh, that's an email. I start the email, I'm like, oh my God, like I was walking in the street and, you know, I was on my phone, I was doing something super important and I saw this guy when I look up and he was going to me. I was like, wait, he's not gonna bump into me, right? And then like the world stopped, it paused, and then like he fucking bumped into me. Like that's crazy as fuck. And then I was super hungry, but you know, I thought about fighting the guy, but actually I didn't because you don't fight people, right? And that just, the way you write it, that's just an entertaining stuff, right? Like people can laugh about that. They can be like, oh my God, like that's funny. And they read that in 2 minutes. You know, I'm not taking them like I'm harassing them. Just in 2 minutes, that's fun, that's entertaining. And then you can mix that with like whatever product you're selling and that's it.
Yeah, okay, I see. And regarding the products you're speaking about, what are they? So you have different type of products, and if so, what do you propose in each one of them?
So in this newsletter is kind of new that I took it off again because I had the paid one that I stopped, and then I turned it free like just in August. So 1 year after starting the first one, like the paid one. So I don't have much product right now. I'm working on them. Basically right now I'm just selling like a consulting call. And some product that like I've created, like I have some interviews that I'm selling, I have some videos about like email marketing, about for e-commerce that I'm selling, but it's not that much. I already have a roadmap of all the product that I'm gonna sell, but again, it's kind of a side project, you know, because I love doing emails and I'm selling product because again, I'm not a charity, so I'm gonna make money off of it. But it's more fun than making a living for me, you know.
Yeah, so you just like, you like writing emails no matter what.
Yeah, and it's a long-term stuff. Because in 5 years, hopefully, I'm still gonna launch, like send an email every day. my lead is gonna be way higher. And imagine for 5 years straight if people read me every day, right?
They will know you better than your mom.
Exactly, but for sure, bro. But they're gonna buy all my product without, thinking about it. Just they're gonna buy everything.
And how big is the audience following you on this newsletter today?
Bro, it's not much. It has 300 subscribers.
Okay.
Which is nothing. It's literally nothing, bro.
Okay. And do you have projection of growth, or do you want to achieve steps?
So I thought about it. So as I said, it's a side project, so I'm not super focused on this, but I will grow it. So I launched some YouTube, YouTube videos maybe so, which making me some subscribers to come. I will probably get the Twitter content back. Not sure about that though. And yeah, maybe launching some ads on Facebook ads or in other newsletters as well. So I have some ideas on how to make it grow. I will do it. I don't know when. I'll do it.
Okay. And you say it's a side project. So what is the main project then?
Yeah. So the main project was my funnel in US on dating. Okay. So I created this dating offer that I sell on Facebook ads in the US. So it's in English, this one. So that's the main project. And in a couple of weeks, it's going to also be the supplement brand that I'm going to launch with the partners, which going to take a lot of time to create. Yeah.
Okay. And how did you end up creating a funnel in dating in the US?
Yeah.
Why dating first?
So first, why dating? Because I've done a lot of dating in my life. I started in 2021. I was not happy with my dating life, so I just started working on that. And I've had, let's say, very good results, impressive, in a very short period of time. And 3 years later, I knew I could help people, And all of my Twitter, dating content, is in English because I'm living here in Budapest and everything I'm doing is in English. And also I want to have a broader audience. So I was like, okay, let's launch the program in English,
Okay.
So I launched everything in English, the program, everything.
And why, to come back to the newsletter, why don't you turn everything in your business life in English?
Yeah. So first of all, there is a newsletter for the dating program as well. So the idea is to have newsletter in business and in dating, and to launch and send an email every day in both of the newsletter. But why don't I switch the business French in English? I thought about that, to be honest. The stuff is okay. I will need to start again, in everything, and I already have some traction in French. So I will need to start again. And second of all, there is a gap in the market in France that in English, whatever I'm talking about, I'm not saying that I couldn't, but there is already people, doing it, not the same way because we are different. But there is already people, talking about direct response marketing and stuff. And in France, there is not that much people. So I can, get bigger market share than if I was doing it in English.
Okay. And so to come back to dating, so what is it exactly? A funnel to then what? Teach people how to date or what to do after dating?
Yeah, so basically that's it. It's a funnel on Facebook ads, and people buy product, and I teach them how to get girls. Very easy.
From which point to until where?
Until whenever, if they want a girlfriend or if they just want to fuck around. Okay. Whenever they want to, I can help them with everything. My product, because my idea with dating is I'm not focusing on techniques or tricks or secrets. I'm just focusing on turning men into sexual men. So when I'm saying sexual men, I'm not saying to fuck people in the street or whatever. I'm just saying you have to be okay with your sexuality. And if you want to be a man that attracts girls, it's all about being attractive. You don't want most of the people, they use pickup lines or whatever, but that's doing stuff. You're doing the pickup lines. I want you to just be attractive, and then girls will be attracted to you.
Yeah, it's like outbound or inbound.
Yeah, kind of. It's more like just being okay with yourself, being confident, and being normal, because there is so much men that are not normal anymore. They are weird, they are creeps. They make girls run away from them, and they don't understand why, but it's because they are looking at red pill content, from Andrew Tate or whatever, and they don't love women anymore. They don't love them. They want something from them. They don't give, like this. And there is a lot of ideas from business and seduction that are the same, because it's all psychology, right? And in business, there is this idea of giving more than what they're paying you. So if they're paying you like money, you want to give them enough so they are happy with the money they paid for, right? And it's the same in seduction. You want to comes from a giving mindset. You don't want to take something from the girl. You want to give her a good experience. That's it. And if you can switch your mindset to being normal, confident, and just don't expect anything from the girl, just give her something. Don't take something from her. It's going to change everything. And so I teach men how to switch their mindset and to get the better girls.
Okay. Interesting, yeah. And regarding the last project, then the future e-commerce, is it a brand that you want to build?
It can be a brand, whatever. I don't know how you define brand. So I don't want to say it's gonna be a brand. It's not gonna be a brand. It's gonna be a e-commerce that is making money. Whatever, is it a brand or no? I don't care. As long as it makes profitable money, that's good for me.
Okay, and you will have like a business partner, right?
Yeah.
So how are you going to split the tasks in the project?
Yeah. So as I say, it's still in discussion. So I actually have a call with them on Tuesday to talk more about all of that. So we'll see exactly how we set up each task for everything. But yeah, we're gonna try. We will try to make it happen the good way for sure. But I can't really answer because it's still in discussion and everything. Yeah.
Okay. So at the moment, it's like the newsletter and dating.
Newsletter,
already
dating,
on it.
And all my consulting projects. I live off consulting now. So I just do a lot of consulting for brands and like a lot of companies. That's what makes me live most. I make most of my money from it now.
Okay. And why do you want to add a third project? You have your newsletter, you have dating, now you want to build something in e-commerce. Are you not afraid to work a bit like on too many projects at the same time?
It's possible. So you need to understand that the business newsletter doesn't take me that much time, because I can choose to, I can work 10 minutes a day on it, just like one email each day. That's it. It's 10, 20 minutes max, right? That's it. So I don't work that much on this. The only moment I'm going to work more is when I'm creating products or if I'm launching ads and stuff. But I want to keep it as low, with fewer like moments I need to work on.
Yeah,
basically.
You said like a side project before.
Yeah.
So you don't want like to have it as a main project?
No. I mean, maybe later, right? But for now, no. And I know I can keep it side, so it's fine. The second, the dating. Now I have issue with the ads because I got banned on Facebook. So I'm just working on getting new BM ad accounts set up and all. So I'm just gonna launch it again after that. But still, it's not taking me that much time because all of the product, the courses, the lesson, they're already created. And I don't want to have coaching or anything for now on this. So yeah, it's not that much time as well, And then the e-com brands, I'm not alone on it. They are gonna be partners. So, it's gonna be fine as well, niveau timing. with the timing. So we'll see. Maybe I'm gonna have to shut down one of the projects, right? Like if I see that the e-com brand is scaling so hard and I need my main focus on this, maybe I'm gonna shut down the dating funnel for now. I don't know. I'll see. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you will adapt.
Yeah, I'll adapt for sure. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, now for the audience, I was thinking like through your path in business and entrepreneurship, I'm sure you have faced many challenges, lessons, failures. Can you tell us about what are, for example, the biggest failures that you have faced on your path, and how did you face them, and how did you go and move afterwards?
I don't know if I have like one big failure, like, hey, I launched this startup and it didn't work. I don't have that. But I have a lot of failures moments where I was like super broke. I was like making a lot of money and then like I'm super broke. It happens to me like 2 or 3 times. So that was failure because, when you come from making a lot of money and then you go broke as fuck and you have to find a way to overcome this and make money again, that's very hard. I had a partners in my agency at what point it didn't really work. So you could say it's a failure, failure as well. I had a project with clients that didn't work, failure as well. But every time I see failures, there is one of my favorite quote. It's like, failures is feedback. The more feedback, the more progress. And so when you reframe your head and you're like, okay, failure is not failure, it's feedback. I learned something from that. And the more I get feedback in my life, the more I progress. So for each failure, it means you progress every time. And it always being this way for me. I always learn something from the failures. I always understand something from whatever was this. Like maybe I learned that, okay, I need to change the way I spend money. Or I need to change the way I get clients. Or I need to change the way I set up my deals. All that stuff. I learn. You cannot really learn from wins. I mean, you can for sure. But you always learn way more from the failures. Because that's when you understand, oh shit, something's not working well.
Yeah, you have to ask yourself more questions to figure it out.
Exactly. I mean, when something is working, you're not looking into it. If I'm drinking that and it's working, I'm not gonna look around. But let's say there is like a hole there, and for whatever reason, like the Red Bull is getting out, then I'd be like, oh shit, there's a hole here. Oh, how do I stop it? I fix it. That's it. But if it was not, if it was working, I would not, look into that. And you're gonna say me, yeah, but I mean, if there is no problem, you won't look. There's always problem. You just don't see them yet. You just don't see them. And so that's why when you're winning, you're like, oh my God, I'm winning. Everything seems to work so good, blah, blah. And then you hit the wall and you're like, fuck. But the issue was already there. You just didn't see it, And that's why you cannot have a constant growth, because you always face problems. Sometimes it's going to be like inventory problem. I don't know, you didn't knew, but you ran out of inventory. Shit, you need to work on that. Maybe Stripe gonna ban your account. And they're gonna get like, they're gonna keep like 100K into their system for like, I don't know how much days, but way too much for what the fuck,
Yeah.
And so that's always failure. I mean, I'd say, and you have to learn from them, and you have to set up stuff like maybe, okay, Stripe banned me, but maybe it means I need more merchant accounts. Maybe I need like to set up something with like 3-4 merchant accounts, so I can't be banned from one. I mean, if I get banned from one, it's fine. I still have 3 or 4,
Yeah.
And so you learn from it. But you had to get the bad to understand that, oh shit, I need to change that,
face the issue to
Yeah.
find solutions. And what did you learn through like your journey when you said you made a lot of money, then you went broke, then you made money again? How was it like in terms of your psychology, and how did you react to each like stage where you were?
Yeah. So basically, after like the dropshipping store, the first one, for example, I've made good money. And I was like, oh my God, I had like a lot of money on my bank account from my age. I was 19. No, I was 18. And I was like, oh my God, like that's crazy, And no, I was 19. Yeah, because he was N. Yeah, I was 19. But that was crazy. I made a lot of money. And so for a couple of months, when I was still looking for, okay, do I want to continue dropshipping? Do I want to do anything else? I didn't really have any entry of money at this point. And I started paying for a lot of coaching because I already had this mind to, okay, if I want to go fast, I pay. So I think it's very good and it's very powerful advice, actually. So I was paying for a lot of coaching, 5K there, 5K there, 2K there, 2K there. Oh, vacation. Okay, holidays there, good hotel, 5-star hotel. And I started to just like travel a lot, pay a lot of coaching and stuff. And I didn't really realize, but for like months, I didn't do anything, and I was spending as fuck. And so I ran out of money, almost. I was like, oh, wait, shit, I'm broke again. Shit. And then, that's when I started to do again some work in freelancers and make money again, And then in freelancer, at first, it wasn't super like, I didn't have like a lot of clients, And so 1 month, you don't have any clients, and I always spend a lot of money. So it means I was living, like I was, let's say I was making 10K, I was spending 10K.
Yeah. So month by month.
Yeah. And so what happened when in 1 month you don't get new clients? Well, you don't have any money. And so that happens, quite a lot. I mean, 2-3 times, I don't remember exactly, but I know it happens like 2-3 times where I was like, well, shit, I don't have any money. Like I'm actually broke now. And so you learn from that. You learn that, okay, maybe I need to manage more my money. Maybe I need to not spend everything. Okay, maybe I need to make sure that I always have new clients that I can, reach out to. All that stuff. And so you learn. And it's funny because I was talking about that with one of my friends. We were talking about that, the fact that I'm not stressed. I'm never stressed. Even when I was, I had like literally zero money on my bank account, even though I was making 10K the months before that. I'm not stressed because I have this mindset of, all right, bet I'll figure it out. Like, oh, I'm broke. All right, bet I'll figure it out. We'll see, I'm bad. All right, bet we'll see. And I think it's a very good mindset as an entrepreneur to just be like, all right, bet, bet we'll see. Yeah. I mean, that happened. Oh shit, bet.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. I think like not being at least too stressed is good to manage any situation. But at the same time, if you're not stressed at all, or if you don't care, let's say, then you can let any type of situation coming to you. So is it also good to not care in a way at all?
I think it's not about not caring, it's being okay with adversity. It's not that I don't care. It's just that adversity doesn't change me and change the way I think about stuff. I think it comes from what I did for the seduction stuff. I work a lot on myself because when you go out and you need to approach girls and to get rejected again and again and again and again, it changed the way you think about life, right? I always say that it's self-help on steroid. Because like you change your mindset so fucking fast and it's super helpful for business. But I went through a lot of adversity. I mean, I don't know if you've done that before, but try, any man that is listening to that, try to go in your nearest club without drinking alcohol, with being alone, and to talk to everyone. Try doing that. Most of the men, they would just stay there like this with their drink, which is not alcohol because it, and so I did that a lot. I went out alone, with my sparkling water in my hand, and I had to talk to people and to make stuff happen. And that's way more stressful than any situation I had with business, because it's yourself. You're not like playing with money or whatever. You're playing with your own self, and if people are rejecting you, you're alone and you can just talk to yourself. So that's a lot of adversity. And I always, saw business the same way. Like if there is an issue, it's just adversity. I need to get through it. And how do you do? Well, you put your ego aside and you think about stuff. You write stuff. You're like, okay, what happened from there? Okay, this happened. Okay, what is happening now? Oh, this is happening. This is happening. Okay, what should I do to make this work again? This. And once you get clarity, everything is way easier to manage with.
Yeah. So for you, like to get like clarity, writing is a good way.
It can be written or just thought about it. You go for a walk, you think about it, and I write more now than I used to. But I do both, like write and just think about it, having stuff in my head. It works as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And regarding women, so you have built now like a business around dating women.
Yeah.
Did you already like were into women at this point of like building a business around it, or it came like through the time?
Yeah, it came through the time basically. Because when I first starting my dating journey, I didn't really thought about making a business out of it. I mean, I had this in mind because I was already in business when I started the dating journey. But it's more like, it's more like 8 months before, I was like, oh, I want to launch my own product, my own offer. Let's launch a dating offer. I mean, I have everything to make it happen, So that's what I did. And I thought about, okay, what are my strengths? What can I help people with? What do I like? And that's it. It was a good mix,
Okay. Yeah, I see. And again, for the people who are listening to us, what type of advice you can give to someone who will want to start something? It can be in business or art to start, and also to someone who is already in the process.
It's about use the little fire that you have inside. So we all have a little fire inside, and this little fire is talking to us every day. If you're not starting yet and you have this little fire telling you that you want freedom, that you want to try something that is yours business, and not like another business person, whatever, you have to listen to your little fire and you have to let it grow. Because most of the people, they have this little fire inside and they just shut it down, They put a box around it and they're like, shut up, don't talk to me anymore.
Why do you think they don't want to face it and embrace it?
It's scary. Because then if the fires grow, it's a big fire and nobody likes big fire, right? It's scary to see a big fire. You don't want to jump into the fire. It's scary, but if you also let it grow, then you're not cold anymore, you're warm. You're a little bit warm. And so it's good and bad at the same time, but that's adversity. And most people have ego about that. They have ego that they find excuses of and limiting beliefs of why they cannot do it. It's not for me. Yeah, but nobody in my family ever done that. Yeah, but you need money to start a business. Yeah, but blah, 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 blah. But it's only ego, their ego talking, because the ego hates adversity. It hates that. It doesn't want to feel, adversity. Yeah.
Okay. So for someone who wants to start, it's like just listen to yourself and take the bet, take the risk, if there is one, in fact.
I like this, the 4 hours work week from Tim Ferris. And I read that when I first started business. And in this book, he talked about the risk that's like to think about the risk that you actually encounter when you launch a business. And so he tells people to, okay, take like 10 is the biggest risk. Like it means you're almost dying. Okay, 0 is there is no risk. So take whatever you want to do. Maybe you want to launch a business, or maybe you want to do like a world tour. Okay, let's say world tour. Maybe the risk of doing a world tour is like 7. Because maybe you risk to go out of money. Okay, what is the biggest risk? Okay, let's say it's to go out of money. Okay, you run out of money and you in a fucking small town in Vietnam. Okay, that's a big risk, but like that's a 7 out of 10 risk, right? You're not dying, but yeah, that's pretty bad. Then you think, okay, what can I do to change that? To make sure that if it happens, I make it out from it, right? Well, you think about that. Maybe you prepare something from like an insurance. I mean, there is a lot of way. Maybe you ask locals to help you. I don't know. You just think about that, right? And then what Tim Ferris, he was saying like, okay, then think about the will you want to do it. At how much do you want to do it out of 10? Well, I want to do this world tour out of 10. I really want to do it. Okay. Well, 10 is higher than 7. So just do it now. Just think about the actual risk that you have. Maybe you want to launch a business. Okay. You've seen like dropshipping. Maybe it's gonna cost you 500. Is it worth the risk to lose this 500? I would say yes. From whatever you want to do it and from how much you can win from it at the end. And even if you lose the 500, just go work a bit more, right? And then you start again.
Yeah, and you will have to learn also.
Yeah, and you learn, and maybe you've done your first sales, and then oh shit, I can actually sell something to a stranger on the internet, right? And then your little fire, you can like feel it. You're like, oh fuck, maybe, why not me actually? And you go like this, basically. But yeah, it's more about just understanding like there is nothing good in your life that is not outside of your comfort zone. Every time you will experience something that's crazy, that will make you feel happy and feel alive, it's always outside of your comfort zone, always.
Yeah, that's true. It can be anything.
Yeah.
Okay, and for the guy, like the man and the woman that is already in the process, you can have like, maybe she has result or she's somewhere, but she's hustling, she's trying, she's working hard. What type of advice could you give her?
Get helps. There is always people who've done what you're trying to achieve. Just get helps from those people. I'm always investing in mentors. Always. Just so important. I'm in the process of doing that. I'm not finished. I don't have like 50 millions of my bank account, right? So I get helps from people who are where I want to be. That's all. Because they've done everything first, and now they know. So just pay to go faster. It's always the same. I always pay to go faster. Just pay.
Okay, yeah. And what type of like service do you have when you pay? Like, is it a coaching? Is it a mentor of
whatever?
1 month?
It can be like mastermind. It can be like mentorship for like 1 year. For example, now I'm in a mentorship for 1 year. So yeah, like each month we have calls and stuff. It can be mastermind. We're like a lot of other people who are doing the same stuff as you. And so you can all help each other. The group I was in for when I started dropshipping, it was kind of like that. Coaching, one-on-one coaching, I've done this as well. I've done a lot of mastermind, a lot of coaching, but I just always pay to go faster. Always.
Okay. Yeah, so it's surround yourself with people who are a bit further than you in the process to learn from them faster and to just grow at the same time.
Exactly. Oh, just always pay for whatever you want to do, even to create network. Sometimes, there is people that are like, yeah, I don't know how to get network. Just pay. There is out there is community of people. You just have to pay to get there. Yeah, but how do I make money? Then if you don't have the money, you're not there yet. So it's all about your little fire to make the money first. So make the money first and then pay to go faster. Why is there the people who have money always make more money? Because they can pay to make more money.
Yeah.
That's it.
To get knowledge or contact.
Knowledge, contact, investment, whatever.
Okay. So we have a secret question.
All right.
In fact, the last guest, Rafael, that you know, a good friend of us, wrote a question for the next guest, but he didn't know who was the next guest. So I'm going to ask you his question and you will answer in front of everybody. That. So in your field, how do you make sure that you are better than your competitors?
There's a lot of way to make sure you're better than your competitors. You can work on your product. You can be like, yeah, my product is better. But if nobody knows you, you can have the best product. Who cares, right? So I think it's not trying to be better than the competitors. It's more like, how can I be sure that I'm actually solving the problem for my clients? Don't look at your competitors that much, just look at your clients more. That's the issue of so many people, and I'm including myself, of course, is we tend to look at the competitors way too much, and we just forgot to look at the customers itself, right? Every time I'm doing consulting, one of the main stuff I'm saying to people is call your clients. Have you called your clients? And they're like, oh no, we're planning to do it. No, that should be the first stuff you're doing, right? They're like, yeah, but look, we have like these competitors. I don't care. Call your clients. So don't focus on the competitors. I don't care to be the best. I want to be the best at helping my customers, right? So maybe I don't have the best product, and I should have. I should try to get the best product because it's the one that will help my customer best. And I'm not doing it to be the best amongst the competitors. I'm just doing it to be the best choice and to be the one that is helping the best my customers. So yeah, and then you can just look at your competitors to find a gap in the market, to see what are they saying. Maybe they're saying like, hey, I can help you get an house in 1 month. Then you can say, yeah, we will help you get an house in 2 weeks. Just do it faster, whatever. But it's just like market angle. But at first, it's just like focus on your customers and not your competitors.
Okay, yeah. Hey, it makes sense because who know better your service or your business than your clients? They are experiencing your offer.
Yeah.
So they know what's good and bad.
Yeah, and the answer is always in the market. So whatever problem you have, just focus on your market first. It's always market first. Like for whatever you're doing, like I'm doing the newsletter, even if I'm talking about stories of mine, I still always put the market first. What do they want, And they want stories. So that's why I'm selling stories. But if they hated stories, I wouldn't say stories, So always find market first, and your competitors, they will go way, way, way after all of that, for sure.
Okay. Well, it was a pleasure to have you today, Lilian. If the audience would like to get in contact with you or know more about what you propose, or maybe read your newsletter in French, at least not the dating one, how can they connect with you?
Well, they can go on Twitter, they can go on YouTube, they can go on Instagram. Maybe you will put the link somewhere, I don't know.
Sure, I will put in the description of the YouTube video.
All right, so yeah, basically that's the three main way of contacting me, and then WhatsApp for my clients, but I won't get my give my number publicly. But yeah, basically Instagram, Twitter are the best way to reach out to me.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna wrap up with this ritual. So I ask you to write a question for the next episode. So you don't know either the guest, but you can ask anything. So please write it down here.
You make me. I have to think quickly.
Take your time if you want.
So right there, right?
No rush here, just here.
Okay.
In the meantime, if you like the podcast, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can also like the video and write a comment if you liked something special or did not like something. So if we get enough feedbacks, we can improve the podcast itself.